Hello guys and girls, how are you doing today? It's Single Roleplay once again. Today I want to just talk a little about how the build's shaping up, what's happening in general, how's Soul Rain, how's Bane, how Essence Drain, how I'm doing well in the synthesis, and talk a little about Synthesis League in general. So first of all, the build progresses pretty smoothly right now, as I've gathered a decent amount of toughness. I'm about 3000 life and about 4000 energy shield at this point, so about 7000 effective HP. I clear everything from tier 1 to tier 5. I played around 3 to 4 full days, so not that much. Didn't have much time to play, unfortunately, but played about 3 full days, I would say. 3 to 4 days, about 6 hours every day. So this is it. Now I'm trying to finish tier 6 and above, so we are in the yellow tiers at this point. Everything is going pretty fine. I also at one point switched back to Essence Drain because SOULREND just was pure shit. It felt really horrible. I tried different combinations. I tried playing Bane on the 6-link. I tried playing SOULREND with the Unleash support. I tried playing Bane with the GMP, without GMP, just a pure DPS 6-link. And so far I've settled on this setup, which I believe will stay as a bossing setup too, which is SOULREND with a GMP on a 6-link. I think this setup is really the best for the SOULREND in all cases, and you don't need Unleash at all because this dots do not stack. So if you fire 3 consecutive SOULREND, these projectiles, they do not stack whatsoever. They each hit only one projectile hit, one monster, and it's only be affected by 1 dot on it. So stacking this shit is pointless in my opinion, and GMP works way better than Unleash in my opinion. Once again, guys, this is what I'm settled in. It gives also this cone-like spreading SOULREND projectiles, which really shoot in literally all direction, and this thing really covers the whole screen, unlike Unleash. Once again, we just gives a straightforward bursting line of projectiles. About Bane, I really like Bane as a leveling skill. It's one of the most powerful leveling skills, I think, for the Chaos character. The real problem on the Bane is the small area effect, and this like a top-down skill. It's both the strength of the skill and also the weakness of the skill, because you should literally stop and take it to the face all the time, because the monsters will just come to you and you should just face them like this, and then cast a Bane on them and just die. Also, for the Bane to work really smoothly, you need to go Profane Bloom to get the cursed explosions and shit on the Ascendancy for the Occultist. Without Profane Bloom, playing Bane character is not really worth it at all. But so far, I tried Bane on a 6-link, like the full busted DPS 6-link Bane, and unfortunately the lack of area of effect and this top-down kind of casting thing is really hurting Bane. So after all, it's a curse. It is not really a clear skill oriented kind of appeals to clear skill oriented mapping thing. It can be done into mapping skill. It can be done, and all little people playing Bane on the 6-link as a clearing skill, but honestly for me, I just did not enjoy it. As an additional layer of damage, it definitely is fantastic, and triggering this curses without going blasphemy or self-casting is just absolutely fantastic. I think it's just absolutely great. And if you are playing SOULREND, you should be absolutely using a Bane on a 3 or 4 link to supplement your self-casting curses. Another thing which is pretty interesting is how you should balance around blasphemy and Bane, casting curses with either Bane or running with a blasphemy. It's also a bit of a problem, and there's a few tricks that you can do here. Self-casting base is indeed cool, but at the same time it kind of interrupts you, makes you a little slower, or also makes you much squishier against mapping, because if you run with a Blasphemy, you literally affect everything around me, and casting Bane with curses on every single package just will not be doing this, because it requires enormous amount of time. It slows you down, so you're mostly running without Bane for the most part, and I only cast Bane on bosses or on tough rares with layers of chaos resistance and shit that when they just don't die. So overall, it's just different gameplay when you run with the Blasphemy and a couple of curses, or you run these curses as a handcaster on Bane. It's just different gameplay at all. Speaking about Essence Drain, like I said, I think it still stays strong. It's incredibly powerful. If you really want to play Essence Drain, be true to the classic, play Essence Drain. But I want to see just how far I can do with the SOULREND. Another thing that is problematic on the SOULREND is atrocious cast speed, guys. It's absolutely terrible. And I had problems fighting Exile on the first Labyrinth because of this atrocious cast speed, simply because you know, the animation is so terrible and the cast speed is so bad comparing to the Bane, for example, which really is a very fast skill. But for the SOULREND is really bad, and stacking cast speed just in order to cast this shit faster, it's also another big problem. As you can see that there are like fast monsters, they can literally obliterate me before I even shoot projectiles. Literally, they can eat my face simply because I'm still trying to cast this shit. I'm still trying to cast that shit, and I actually died a couple of times in the synthesis. This, you know, blue shit that swallows you and makes you much slower, because the monsters will also get swallowed by the synthesis blue shit. And when you get swallowed by this shit and they shoot at you and you start shooting at them, and it's basically so incredibly slow that they once hit me before I hit them, and I just died a couple of times simply because I was unable to kill them before they kill me. This is just absolutely ridiculous, guys. So, you know, if not the cast speed, I can probably even live with a terrible duration on the SOULREND, but cast speed makes it really not smooth, and you need to stack this on purpose, like Gold Trickster, stack some cast speed and shit. Otherwise, it becomes really a bit of a not as smooth as the Essence Drain, or Essence Drain is also slow, but the kind of feels faster with Essence Drain and Contagion, other than the SOULREND. Sometimes it's very dangerous to play SOULREND because, like I said, the monsters just eat your face, and you're just not fast enough to cast this shit in order to kill them before they kill you. And the Exile shoots really fast also, and he got me by his projectiles several times before I was able to finish my casting time. So unfortunately, this is like the biggest problem, but I still keep pushing, guys. I will also be updating the SOULREND Essence Drain build guide as well, because it's becoming a little more problematical and complicated. I decided I'm gonna do a separate powder building link for the SOULREND specifically, because it just creates a lot of mess in the current Essence Drain build that originally are created as a starter for this setup. So I think we'll have like a separate SOULREND setup to create less mess on powder building for this. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.